2023 or early 2024. Goldman Sachs economists have predicted there's a 35% chance in the next 24 months. There are others who don't see an imminent recession given the strong consumer spending and job growth we have. The most important thing, Robin, is to get your financial house in order. Don't overextend yourself. There are things you can do to protect yourself for these worst case scenarios, Robin.
All right. Thank you, Mr. George. Well, Casey White, former corrections officer, Vicky, we're taking really excited about authorities closing
Happy Thursday, beautiful people. Oh, that's good.
Oh my God. How long will you take?
All right, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It is May the 12th, 2022, day 106 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, another 4-year consecutive day count, day 1124. Today, we're going to pick up back in the Lord's first book on page 66 of the Oahspe. Remember, this is the earthly account. And then, if we get time today, if we don't run over in Oahspe, we're going to head on over to the meditation book and pick up where we left off at on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday, page 116. 6, okay. All right, y'all. So let's get going. Blessings upon blessings. Okay, adjust myself. Okay, page 66. Father, we thank you for another day. We are at it again. Thank you for always leading us and guiding us in all truth. All right, y'all. Down at the bottom, chapter 2. The Lord said, a wise physician amputateth a diseased limb, and so preserveth the trunk to become healed. Saw I not the rankness of the tribes of darkness, the droops, and that the proceedings of man would render the earth void? What is all the world if I bring it not forth heirs unto everlasting life? Behold, I saw that my chosen had become despoiled on all the divisions of the earth, save Pan. And on let's see, after despoil, it has reference number 5, and it says become exterminated and on all the divisions. Was that my truck? Oh, okay. What is all the world if I bring it not forth heirs unto everlasting life? Behold, I saw that my chosen had become despoiled on all the divisions of the earth, save Pan. And I saw that they who had been their destroyers had in turn nearly exterminated one another. And I saw that to bring the remnants of my people hither, they could again reestablish themselves and become the seed of a mighty people. But as for the land of Waga, Pan, it was already in the throes of death, and the droops had become as a festering sore. And the spirits of the dead, tens of thousands of millions of them, would not quit their hold on mortals whilst life was on the earth. Oh, that makes the flood seem a little bit more understandable now. Not that they were just, you know what, you doing a bunch of evil here, right? So the more I understand this, it doesn't necessarily seem that the earth in our day, well, according to our eyes and what we can see, it doesn't necessarily seem like it was as bad as what it was when the earth was overthrown. Now, I could be wrong, but some of the information I'm coming across and even reading some of this, it don't seem like we got to that point again where we completely need to be obliterated, right? Okay, let me read that again. Listen, it said, let me just go back to verse 3. no, let me just start it over. Listen. The Lord said, a wise physician amputateth a diseased limb, and so preserve the trunk to become healed. Saw I not the rankness of the tribes of darkness, the droops, and that the proceedings of man would render the earth void? What is all the world if it bring not forth heirs unto everlasting life? Become despoiled on all the divisions of the earth, save Pan. And I saw that they who had been their destroyers had in turn nearly exterminated one another. And I saw that to bring the remnants of my people hither, they could again reestablish themselves and become the seed of a mighty people. But as for the land of Waga, Pan, it was already in the throes of death, and the droops had become as a festering sore, and the spirits of the dead, 10,000s of millions of them, would not quit their hold on mortals whilst life was on the earth. And I sent my angels around about the whole earth and gathered in the spirits of darkness, gathered them unto the land of Waga. And when my work was in readiness, I raised up my hand and I'm sorry. And when my work was in readiness, I raised up my hand as a surgeon that would lop off a diseased limb, and I cleft asunder the continent of Pan and sunk it beneath the waters. And my angels conducted my chosen out of that land, and not one of them perished. I said unto the guardian angels whom I had given to man, in the lands whither I will take my people, let them build mounds and walled cities with ladders to enter, after the manner of the ancients in all the divisions of earth. Alike and like they shall build. For in the time of Cosmon, their relics shall be testimony that the Ehim forerun the Ehuim, the copper colored race in all the world. Ain't that what we finding out now? Uncle JB, Grand Isaac, Trina, hey girl, hey. Listen, I'll go back to verse 9. No, 8. And when my work was in readiness, I raised up my hand as a surgeon that would lop off a diseased limb, and I cleft asunder the continent of Pan and sunk it beneath the waters. And my angels conducted my chosen out of that land, and not one of them perished. I said unto the guardian angels whom I had given to man, in the lands whither I take my people, let them build mounds and walled cities with ladders to enter, after the manner of the ancients, in all the divisions of the earth. Alike and like they shall build. For in the time of Cosman, their relics shall be testimony that the Ehim forerun the Ehuin, the copper colored race, in all the world. So also will I, the Lord, provide in the Cosman era to discover the sunken land of Waga, that mortals may comprehend the magnitude of the work of the Lord. In those days, the Ehims dwelt not alone, but in cities and villages, and they were clothed. And they tilled the ground and brought forth grains and seeds good to eat, and flax and hemp from which to make cloth for covering the body. And their food was of every herb and root, and grain and seed, and fruit that cometh from the earth. But they ate not flesh, nor fish, nor anything that breathed the breath of life. Verse 14. They toiled by day, bringing within their cities the fruit of their labor, and they slept within their cities and on mounds at night, that they might not be molested by the beasts of prey and by serpents. And every city had one Rabbah, or Rabbah is head father, who knew the way of the Lord. By the Rabbah were the altars of the Lord built, and the times of the sacred days foretold. For the Rabbah made records in writing on stone, they which, I'm sorry, and the Rabbah made records in writing on stone, the which they taught to their successors and to whomsoever desired to learn of the Lord. And the Lord abode with them, and they kept the commandments and multiplied exceedingly in all the divisions of the world. Nor was there any war in any land under the sun in those days. In course of time thereafter, and after thereafter, it has reference number 6, and it says, in 3,000 years thereafter. In the course of time thereafter, behold, there were thousands of cities and hundreds of thousands of inhabitants who had spread abroad over the lands of the earth, and they had built ships and sailed abroad on the seas and inhabited the islands thereof, north and south and east and west. And that was the end of chapter 2. Chapter 3, the scriptures of that day. Mom Shalom, Zoe Betwabu. God said that my people may remain upright. Behold, I give unto them and their successors forever certain sacred words, which shall be to them the bond of my covenant. 7 degrees of sacred rights bestow I unto my people, and no man shall take the second till he hath learned all the words of the first, nor shall he take the third till he hath learned all the words of the second, and so on shall man learn all my sacred words. From mouth to ear shall they be learned by every man and every woman of my people, saith the Lord. Hearken then to the words of the servants of the Lord. I will serve the prophets of the Lord my God. Heal my flesh, O God. And it says, Eod, Gal. Eod in parentheses after God is IOD, and Gal, GAU, and cure poison. The Lord is my spirit, spe, S apostrophe PE in parentheses. The Lord is my spirit, spe, like Oahspe, right? Spe, and Oahspe is spirit. The Lord is my spirit, spare, unseen in the heavens. He is all power and wisdom and love and anger. He can heal and he can tear the flesh and strike dead. His prophets have his good grace. They can hear his voice and interpret him. The Lord is my guardian. 10 times a day will I remember him. God, who is Lord, can stop blood, choke it up, O Lord. He gave blood stopping as a power of the prophet's hand. Confound my enemies, O God. The Ashars, angels of the Lord, shield me. I will honor the Ehims, the sacred people of God. They are my brethren. This was the first lesson. The Lord said to his prophets, Go to the droops and cause them to sit on the ground in a circle, and stand ye in the midst, saying, Behold, O droop, the great spirit hath spoken. I have heard his voice. His words are holy words. Whoever learneth his words shall have power over sickness and poison and flowing of blood. And if a woman, she shall become fruitful and have great rejoicing. Hold up your hands and repeat the words of the Lord. And it was so. The prophets taught the words of the Lord to wit. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He can make me to be alive after I am dead. And this is all he requireth of me to say, Blessed be the name of the Lord. In the morning I will say it. At noon I will say it. At night I will say it. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I will wear clothes to hide my nakedness, because God requireth it of me. I will not steal, nor speak untruth. If my brother taketh what is mine, I will not be in anger, nor judge him, but I will lay the matter before the prophets of God. I will do no violence, for it is God's commandment. This then that followeth was the third. I will have but one wife. I will not go after other women while she liveth. I will have but one husband. I will receive no other man while my husband liveth.
Say it. Better speak it.
I will suffer no
Or
man.
you will die. Literally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, die.
Okay, we get the point. Listen. I will suffer no man nor woman of poison, leprosy, to come near the Ogu, what? Ouga. Ouga. Okay, Ouga. Ouga is camp. All right. I will suffer no man nor woman of poison, leprosy, to come near the Ouga, the camp. In the Lord's name, I will drive them hence. I renounce them, nor will I mingle therewith, for it is God's commandment. The fourth commandment is, I'm sorry. The fourth commandment, I forswear the hunt, but whatsoever cometh and is fit for food, and I'm sorry, I forswear the hunt, but whatsoever cometh and is fit food for man to eat, I will kill it. And it has reference letter C. So we'll go to C. Okay. Reference letter C. It says, it will be observed here that the Drooks had a different law given to them, for the Ehings killed nothing, nor ate fish nor flesh. 1882 edition. You're right. So remember, Alazar, Grand Rising, Trina. So they are speaking to the Drooks, right? Remember, the Ehings are standing in the midst of the Drooks sitting around in a circle, and these are the commandments they are learning, right? Okay, so they talking about us, y'all's people. We're not to go after the hunt. We are not to go hunting animals, right? Listen. Verse 28. I forswear the hunt, but whatsoever cometh and is fit for food for man to eat, I will kill it. I will take up fish in the name of the Lord, for they suffer no pain. I will till the soil and gather roots to eat, and fibers of bark for clothing, and live like the Ehings, the chosen people of God. I renounce murderers, nor will I marry with them, nor live as they live. They are enemies of the Lord God. I will curse no man, nor woman, nor child, for it is the Lord's commandment. I renounce anger and all weapons of death. They are enemies of the Lord. If a man injure me, I will lay the matter before the Lord's prophet, for his judgment is holy, saith the Lord. If a woman entice me, I will go secrete myself and repeat the sacred words. Meaning secrete, you can go secrete yourself, meaning you're gonna go put yourself in a secret place to hide away from her. And when you are safe in a safe place, you're gonna remember the words of the covenant. You're going to repeat them, right? You ain't doing nothing else. You ain't doing nothing to yourself. Listen. If a woman entice me, I will go secrete myself or put myself in seclusion. I will go secrete myself and repeat the sacred words. I will respect the times of woman, for she is the gift of the Lord to be man's helpmate. Oh, if that was worded like that in the Bible, she is the gift, right? I will respect the times of woman, for she is the gift of the Lord to be man's helpmate. When my wife hath a newborn child, I will do her labor for 40 days. What? Babe, you hear this? You hear this?
What?
Listen. Because we've had 6. Well, 6 times 40 is what?
2,400. 240.
Listen to the, okay, 240 days, bro. Listen to this. When my wife hath a newborn child, I will do her labor for 40 days, for it is God's commandment. Bruh, it's time for me to go on sabbatical. I'm way past due. Bella about to be 6 years old.
Hold on, you said what?
I need my 240 days.
The man said what?
The man, when my wife hath a newborn child, I will do her labor for 40 days, for it is God's commandment.
I've been taking care of you longer than that, Jack.
He slammed the door. Okay, look. The fifth commandment, which is the 4 days of the moon are the Lord's. On those days I will not labor. I will keep sacred the 4 days of every moon, and I will repeat the sacred words of the Lord thrice. Those are the Sabbath days. Okay, I get that. Trina, he owe me. In his mind, he don't. Because he said, I've been taking care of you longer than that, Jack. That might be our title for the day. Look, okay. Okay, something just clicked. Audrey here. Audrey asked this question yesterday about the moon. Okay, listen. It says the 4 days of the moon are the Lord's. On those days I will not labor. Okay, so this could be every moon cycle, right? Which means every month, right? So you get 12 moons a year. Some say you get 13 moons a year, right? We ain't really gonna get into all that right now, but each moon is a like a new moon, right? So the 4 days of each moon, in my mind, as of this time right now, would be the 4 Sabbath days that you get every new moon cycle, right? 4 weeks in every month at every phase of the moon, and there is it's 4 phases. No, it's more than 4 phases. It's 4 quarters. At the end of each quarter, there's a Sabbath, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I think we're still doing it right, y'all. The 4 days of the moon are the Lord's. On those days I will not labor. I will keep sacred the 4 days of every, yeah, I should have kept reading, of every moon. Every moon has 4 sacred days, which are the Sabbath. Okay, let me go back 38, 37. The fifth commandment, which is the 4 days of the moon are the Lord's. On those days I will not labor. I will keep sacred the 4 days of every moon, and I will repeat the sacred words of the Lord thrice. Okay. We getting there, y'all. So you see what they did with the 10 commandments? They took it like each commandment they give you and they really elaborate on what it is, and then they move to the next one. Bible just sums it up. You got 10. Dun, 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 dun. That's it, right? Keep them without any elaboration. The elaboration would help. Okay. I will keep sacred the 4 days of every moon, and I will repeat the sacred words of the Lord thrice. And when the prophets say, Behold, the Lord said, This is a sacred day, then I will keep that day holy, for the prophets hear the voice of God. When the Ehenes worship before the altar of the Lord, I will keep on the outer circle, for the Ehenes are the chosen servants of God. When the Ehenes march forth, following the prophets, I will come after, for I will honor the Lord's chosen. When the prophets say, Pitch the tents here, I will abide, for the prophets cannot err. The sixth commandment, which is, For the sick I will provide, and for the woman with a newborn child. I will give first to the Ehenes, second to the Droops, and lastly keep for mine own self. To warriors I will give in time of sickness, but when they are healed, I will say, Go your way. And if a man be sick of poison, or a woman sick of poison, I will go to the same. I like here how they keep this balance, and they always include the woman. In the Bible sometimes it look like we fending for ourselves over there. It's like something's wrong with this. Do you not like us? Well, why did you even create us? Like literally, I grew up with this as I was reading the Bible, and it's something that I just could not get over. Not that I was mad about it, because if that was the way it was, I was completely okay with that, because Father, you know best. But help me understand, because I really don't understand why. Because it seemed like they be getting away with murder and can treat us any kind of way. Not that anybody's ever treated me any kind of way, because step to me wrong if you want to. I will give first to the Ehenes, second to the Droops, and lastly keep for mine own self. To the warriors I will give in time of sickness, but when they are healed, I will say, Go your way. And if a man be sick of poison, or a woman sick of poison, I will go to the same. But before I go in, I will say, O Lord my God, in thy name I go into the dangerous business. Come thou through thy ashars and protect me for thy sake. For the Lord can encompass me around about, and I shall not receive the poison. The seventh commandment, which is, I will keep these words wholly secret in the name of the Lord my God, or go there or build here a city or a house or an altar, then I will do the Lord's bidding. For thus did the Lord establish laws amongst men, and because of the sacredness of the word, and because of the sacredness of the Lord's words, man treasured them and kept holy the commandments of God. Now I, the Lord, revel. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Now I, the Lord, revel in this, the cosmic era. My angels abode with the chosen in the days of the aforesaid sacred scriptures. And when the words were repeated for the stopping of blood, behold, my angels compressed the veins. Not the words stopped the blood, but by the words mortals became in concert with my host. Bruh, it works. Listen, remember we was talking about the magic books, right? Remember I was telling you, I was like, some stuff I don't necessarily know how it works, but what I know is that it works, right? It's not necessarily the words. The words that you speak, they are holy and they are sacred and they are full of power. They're called words of power or whatever you want to label them. But what the flesh can't see is the unseen realm who responds to those words of power. So they said when you speak those words to stop the flow of blood, it is the ashars, the angels that compress the veins of the flesh to stop the flowing of blood, right? Listen. And when the words are repeated for the stopping of blood, behold, my angels compress the veins. Not the words stop the blood, but by the words mortals became in concert with my host. And when a man went into the presence of dangerous diseases, repeating the sacred words, behold, my angels enveloped that man with my unseen blankets, and the man was protected from the disease. This might be in our title today, y'all. This is good. Without such words, there could be no concert of action betwixt mortals and angels. Hold on, I gotta call my sister. Okay. Without such words, there could be no concert of action betwixt mortals and angels. Think not that thy Lord, think not that thy Lord taught a foolish thing, nor that the mumbling of words by my prophets were without wisdom and forethought by the Lord thy God. Now in those days the Lord caused the rabbah to make a wheel and hang it beside the altar. And the meaning thereof was, as this wheel is without beginning or end, so is the Creator. Whosoever turneth the wheel once round hath said, in thee, my God, I trust. Oh, that is beautiful. Just go spin that wheel. In thee, oh God, I trust. You are without end and you are without beginning, right? There is no end to you. I read that again. Now, in those days, the Lord causeth the rabbah to make a wheel and hang it beside the altar. And the meaning thereof was, as this wheel is without beginning or end, so is the Creator. Whosoever turneth the wheel once round hath said, in thee, my God, I trust. And the Lord made an image to stand at the extreme of the altar, whither only holy men and women might pass, and the Lord called the emblem Fete, 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 signifying beyond me there is no appeal. That might be our title. I got so many things that I want to be the title today. Okay, Fete or Fet, maybe it's Fete, is reference letter D, and it says, oh, okay, Fete or Fate or fate, the five forces over man. See symbol 67, plate 63, Samoan Book of Sapa, 1882 edition. Okay, so let's see the symbol 67, plate 63. Let me find out what plate 63 is located so we can look at it. $522. Symbol 67. Okay, plate 63. Now, I'm going to show y'all this, but it's not, no, I'm not sure in which direction the counting is going, whether it's going across or down. Maybe it's going across. I think it's possibly. I think it might be counting from here going across because of how the symbols they grow. That's what I think. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, 22, 33, 33, 44, 55, 66. Hold on. 55, 66. Okay. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. I think this is okay. Let me see. Let me just point to it. Yeah, that's it. I think if it goes in that direction. Okay. Okay. Here are the symbols, right? Okay, so the one that they're talking about. Where's my page? 71. Okay. Hold on. I lost it. Okay, it looked like ISI. Okay, so it looked like a circle with 4 circles inside the circle at the north, south, east, and west mark, and the one to the east is colored in. Okay, let's see. This one right here. This one. That's fate. Okay. Symbol 63. All right. Can y'all see that up here? Yeah, okay, everybody can see it. Right there. Oh, okay. Look, it's heavy to hold with one hand. Okay, let's go back. Okay. And I'm gonna read verse 61 again. And the Lord made an image to stand at the extreme of the altar whither only holy men and women might pass. And the Lord called it the emblem fate, signifying beyond me there is no appeal. Oh, this is the end of this book too. Okay, a couple more scriptures, y'all. Well, 4. And the form of fate was a circle and an all light center with 4 dark corners cut off. And the Lord explained the meaning, which was that was the right sum. I counted right. Just thinking about it. Okay. And the form of the fate was a circle and an all light center with 4 dark corners cut off. And the Lord explained the meaning, which was that there is a central light within man, seeing clearly, but that the 4 dark corners of the world, ignorance, lust, selfishness, and anger, beset him on all sides. And the Lord made an instrument and called it a gau, Gau, which was a triangle with a plumb line from the upper corner, and across the plumb line was a hollow reed for seeing through. And at the bottom end of the plumb line was a weight attached, which pointed to the marks on the lower border of the triangle. And the Lord explained to the prophets how to use the gal for proving all things, even as to the height of mountains and the velocity of running waters, and how to lay the foundations of temples that they might be square with the world. And the prophets, on their part, taught the Ehims, but with them the mysteries were hence in aftertime came the saying, even the wicked were compelled to employ the Ehims, and were thus beholden to the Lord. In all, there were 280 signs and emblems and symbols and implements given by the Lord to his people. And when they were all completed, the Lord taught the prophets the meaning, and these became the sacred language of mortals in all the divisions of the earth. And that is the end of the Lord's first book. All right, y'all. So we will, and that's the end of the book of that section. So we got to go all the way back now. So if you keep turning the pages, it takes us through the rest of the book of Alpha, which we finished first, right? There was a heavenly account. And so we go all the way to the book of Su, so son of Jehovah, being the second cycle after the flood, right? And after we get through the book of Su, son of Jehovah, you drop down again and it goes into the Lord's second book. Remember, the book on the top is the heavenly account, the book below is the earthly account. Okay, and we'll start that tomorrow. The Lord's second book is what? One chapter? 3 chapters, but it's really short. Okay, the book of Su not that long either. Okay. All right, so that's where we'll pause at today. That's good. All right, y'all. So let's hop on over. We at 37 minutes. Let's go ahead and hop on over here to the meditation book. Yeah, Tootie. In a few. I got a little bit more to read and then I'll be done. Okay. So we paused. I forgot what we was talking about last time. Oh, the 3 stages of consciousness. Okay. Let me read that again. The 3 stages of consciousness on page 115, y'all. True religious practice. And I'm going to start at the 1, 2, 3, the 4th sentence in this last paragraph where it gets right to it. True religious practice is made up of 3 stages of spiritual practice as previously discussed. Therefore, it requires 3 stages of teachings or initiatic education or introduction for the initiate. The first stage is composed of the events of the myth. This includes the events of the story, the characters and or deities within the story, the plot and basic themes within the story. The second stage is the ritual. Ritual includes the observances, ceremonies, customs, etc. related to the myth. The third level of religion is the mystical experience. This third level is the true objective of all religious practice. Without this stage, religion becomes dry and effective. When people only practice the first and second levels of religion, the practice often becomes personal and egoistic, as well as dogmatic and subjective, which is what most religions are dealing with today, right? They can't get past them first 2. This is the breeding ground for conflict between religions, as well as misunderstanding about what true religious practice is all about. And we begin the reading today on page 116. The mystical experience, pure consciousness. In the beginning, Hathor is one with Ra. She experiences awareness of her essential nature as being united with the Supreme. This is the mystical experience. The mystical experience is the true state of being. It represents a full awareness of the spiritual self as well as an awareness of the unity of everything in creation. This is the true state of human consciousness. This state of consciousness is characterized by all pervasiveness, infinite expansion, infinite freedom, infinite awareness, and infinite peace. In Indian mysticism, the states of consciousness are called ganas, or modes of expression in which consciousness or God expresses. The next section is the distracted state, agitation, when she, Hathor, is sent or projected into time and space, the phenomenal world, to perform a task in the service of the divine. She falls prey to human sentiment. In particular, she becomes filled with anger and develops a need to satisfy her desire for flesh and blood. This is a state in which she becomes forgetful of her original state. It is a condition wherein the soul is overpowered with delusion due to the overwhelming pressures of desires, thoughts, and strong emotions. These act as clouds which block the human personality from having a clear vision of the self or of the spirit. They are called fetters, and anyone who is fettered is known as one who is in the state of bondage. This state of mind is characterized by restlessness, distraction, dissatisfaction, lack of fulfillment, constant movement, etc. In relation to the ganas of Indian mysticism, this state of consciousness is known as rajas. The human soul uses the mind and senses in order to have, okay, hold on. The human soul uses the mind and senses in order to have human experiences in much the same way as a person uses glasses to see in the world. When the glasses are colored, anything is seen through them. Anything that is seen through them is colored. In the same way, when the soul uses the mind and senses to know everything that is known in this manner, is colored by the thoughts, feelings, sentiments, egoism, etc. Let me read that again. The human soul uses the mind and senses in order to have human experiences in much the same way as a person uses glasses to see the world. When the glasses are colored, anything that is seen through them is colored. And think about when you put on sunshades, right? When you put on sunshades, everything that you see through those sunshades are darkened. And sometimes you forget you have your shades on, and then you go do like this, like, oh my gosh, is this bright out here? Huh, right? Great analogy. When the glasses are colored, anything that is seen through them is colored. In the same way, when the soul uses the mind and senses to know everything that is known in this manner, is colored by the thoughts, feelings, sentiments, egoism, etc. Therefore, the mind that is beset with ignorance, anger, hatred, anxiety, delusion, etc., will act as a veil which blocks the vision of the innermost self. This state is represented by Hetheru as she runs through the land, seeking to satisfy her endless desire to slay and consume human beings. The desires in a mind that is constantly assaulted by the fetters are endless. No sooner does one desire become fulfilled before another arises. This is because ignorance is feeding on ignorance, and ignorance can never satiate ignorance. Hetheru, in the state of delusion, believes that she must continue to search out, kill, and eat flesh and blood in order to satisfy her innermost urge. Since the desire is of flesh, her body, mind, and ego, it is never possible to satisfy it. As long as she continues to believe that this is her true desire and purpose, she will continue in an endless search for fulfillment in this manner. What is that called? That's called insanity. This state of consciousness is characterized by a constriction in consciousness. No longer is there all pervasiveness or peace, but a squeezing pressure of desires. Quote, the body belongs to earth, soul belongs to heaven. End quote. That's an ancient Egyptian proverb. Marche, shalom, shalom. Oh, okay, I get it. You're Lorette on Facebook. Gotcha. Robin, shalom, shalom. This is a miserable predicament of human embodiment. When the human soul becomes embodied, associated with the human form, pressure of these body, mind, and senses cause the soul to forget its true nature. It begins to believe that it is the body and that the feelings, sentiments, desires of the mind, senses, and body are its own. This form of delusion leads people on an endless search through life, trying to satisfy their need for companionship, comfort, happiness, etc., through worldly objects and other human personalities. However, the real need and innermost desire is to discover the self, to know who am I. In this state, most people are concerned with getting rich or acquiring objects which they perceive as sources of pleasure. There is little thought given to why there is only a brief period of apparent fulfillment once an object or situation that was desired is finally acquired or achieved. There is only the thought, somewhere in this world, there is a situation or something that will make me supremely happy and which will fulfill my desires. However, this something is never to be found in the world of time and space. Quote, searching for oneself in the world is the pursuit of an illusion, end quote, right? And America make that illusion look so glorious. Isn't it glorious? The American dream. It is not. It's an illusion. Searching for one's self in the world is the pursuit of an illusion. And that's an ancient Egyptian proverb. The people in the distracted state are considered as normal by mainstream society. People in this state will often act out of selfishness and will not consider the consequences of their actions. They experience a thermometer existence. This means that they experience mood swings and a constant flow of emotions and desires. They may be reasonably honest under ordinary conditions, but when under the pressure of temptation, they may lie, cheat, or steal. Another characteristic of the distracted state is that people meet in conversations and talk about any and all subjects without coherence or rationality. For example, two people may meet at lunchtime and discuss several subjects from the taste of their sandwich to breakfast they had that day to the new movie playing to the weather forecast to the last intrigue of their favorite soap opera star to the ugly tie of their boss and then go back to their job. The conversation flows from one subject to another without any rhyme or reason, and it is all mindless, inane talk. A thoughtful person would not engage in such confused dialogue. She or he would remain quiet. This would make them seem abnormal to the general population. Wasn't it, Marche? Searching for oneself in the world is a delusion. You must understand that what the masses consider to be good and normal is in reality abnormal. It is an aberration from the higher reality wherein it is possible to experience inner fulfillment and peace. The distracted manner in which most people carry on is an expression of their feeling of emptiness, which must continually be filled with excitement and action. A person who has experienced inner fulfillment does not require interaction with others for the sake of interaction and does not require action in order to feel as if something is fulfilled, as if, hold on, let me start over, getting tongue tied. A person who has experienced inner fulfillment does not require interaction with others for the sake of interaction and does not require action in order to feel as if something fulfilling is going on and I am alive, etc. Such a person who displays calmness, self-sufficiency, mental pose, equanimity, peacefulness, and who is not susceptible to stress under stressful conditions is seen as abnormal by a distracted personality. People who do not feel the need to seek excitement through parties, sports, entertainments of various types, overindulging in food, sex or drink, etc., are seen as social bores by the masses, and yet this advanced state of being is the real evidence of psycho-spiritual advancement in life. All right. I will see you shortly. I gotta come up there anyway, because I gotta print that paper off. You know.
How much you
Okay. All right. Yes, to be in a minute. You always forget something.
Oh, I got my wallet. I know I was leaving too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave so I kiss you again.
Yep.
Tell kiss you, right? Tell me down. About to turn you down. Come on. I love you.
Love you too. Yeah, Tootie. What, Pooh? Girl, you know how to make it. Well, I gotta reach it, huh? You want to fix it? Give me a second. Where we at? I'm at 52 minutes. I'm about to end this. Sis. Hold on. Give me a minute. Don't stop. You know what? Your daddy's still down the hall. You do it as soon as he leave out. Okay, I'll do it in a second. Hold on. I'm almost done. Let me end this. Hold on. I gotta finish this little piece. Okay. Hold on. Okay, down at the bottom. There are many intellectuals in all fields, including spirituality, who engage in debates and intellectual discussions for the sake of argument. Logic is not studied for a higher purpose, but for the sake of logic itself. Under these conditions, the mind can construct any form of reasoning which will support its viewpoint. And we see a lot of that, especially on social media, especially in the Hebrew camp communities, going back and forth with some of the what do you call them, girl? It's right down the tip of my tongue. But anyway, all of these mindless debates going on, arguing everybody's viewpoint, and none of it makes a hill. It don't add up to anything, right? It's just y'all wasting everybody's time. People who want to ear hustle show up to that stuff, right? I do ear hustle sometimes. But then sometimes I just can't get through it, because even if I start to listen to it, I'm like, this is not going to take people anywhere. It is really not. So I may listen for a couple minutes, and then it's just like, let me cut this garbage off, because that's what it amounts to be in the end. Everybody want to push their point across, and nobody listening to anybody. Everybody waiting for their chance to say their piece without listening to what the other person is saying, right? You're not having a conversation to really engage in fruitful conversation and an outcome. You just waiting for them to stop talking so you can start talking. It's a mess. It's really disgusting. It really is, right? Okay. The power of reasoning and speech is of paramount importance, because what you understand is what determines your experiences in the outer world as well as in the inner. Your speech is an expression of your innermost beliefs and ideals, your consciousness. Therefore, you should not allow your intellectual capacity to become retarded, melancholic, gloomy, dejected, or spiritless. Intellectualism with no higher sublime purpose eventually leads to dullness. The proof of this is that the long history of intellectuals who have committed crimes and created the most anti-humane forms of philosophy throughout the world. Two examples of this are the African slave trade and the racism of Nazi Germany, both of which were supported by many intellectuals of the time. Even today, there are those who create elaborate treaties. There are those who create elaborate treaties or treatises as treaties, which seek to prove the superiority of one group or economics, genetics, etc. Oh, that's the word I was looking for earlier. The Christian apologetics, like the Hebrew community going back and forth with the Christian what you call apologetics or whatever that even means. All of these criteria are relative and illusory. Therefore, anyone who engages in such intellectual activity is to be considered as being equally caught in the ignorance of egoism as a backward person who never went to school, even for a day, darn, and who has not learned to interact with people of other groups. Let me read that again. That was good. Therefore, anyone who engages in such intellectual activity, right? These going back and forth, all this stuff, you think you just so smart, come to me for my wisdom. You know, those people like that. Therefore, anyone who engages in such intellectual activity is to be considered as being equally caught in the ignorance of egoism as a backward person who never went to school, even for a day, and who has not learned to interact with people of other groups. Like if you engage them, you're just as backwards as they are, right? Thus,
Mom.
Intellectual persons.
Mom,
Yes.
I'm actually recording too.
You recording? Oh, okay. You recording over there? Okay. Thus, intellectual persons, even those who may seem cultured and sophisticated, cannot automatically be considered more advanced than an illiterate person. Cameron, yeah, talking just to be talking. And we see a lot of that going on. Like it every now and again. I'll go back through YouTube, through some of the channels I used to watch and everything. You want to hear their points, but yo, I was just about to say this. Let me read Marche's comment first. You want to hear their points because it could help your growth, or you're hoping, but in the end, it doesn't very much. You just summed up exactly what I was about to say about listening to. And so from time to time, I'll go back to some of these channels, right? I'm not going to name any. It's channels with single people, people that's normally by themselves talking on a video like I am, not single in like marriage or whatever, but like one person. And then you have groups, channels with groups of people that normally interact going on. And sometimes you have couples that interact with, you know, the social world and everything. So I go to some of these channels every now and again. Maybe I say maybe like once or twice a month, just to see where they're at, right? I'm not holding, I ain't putting no pressure on nobody. Like, man, you know, what you know, it's like, okay. So when I go back, I go, like she said, I go like to see the points. Okay, what are you talking about today? But every time I go back to I would say just about every single one of them, it's like they're still talking in them same circles. It's like, bro, a year has passed and you are still talking about the same stuff, like going around in circles. It seems like there's no growth here. And then after I kind of jump through the video a little bit, some I will watch all the way through just to see, because sometimes I don't want to take in half information. Let me just hear the whole matter out. But the whole video, sometimes it's 2 hours of a bunch of nothing, right? And then after I do that, or while I'm watching it, I'll go through the comments, right? Because it be live in the comment section. And I be going through it. Sometimes I be good and I'm like, oh my gosh, the blind is leading the blind, right? And so you got people, I notice a lot of the names from the different people from the different channels. Some every now and again to come here, leave a comment, but I recognize them. I don't say anything, but I'm like, oh, that's such and such. You be channel hopping. randomly, sporadically leaving comments and stuff. I'm like, but they leave comments like they're just as unlearned and haven't been growing as the channel or the teacher, whatever you want to call it. Not saying that we're doing everything, but at least it's like we don't want to stay in the same place. It's like we're trying to scale this mountain. We ain't trying to just hang out at the foot and conversate like we, shooting a Willy Bobo at the water cooler at work. Like we really trying to go somewhere, right? We've been talking about this for far too long. It's too many theories. Let's put one of them into action. Even if it leads us down the wrong path for a period of time, at least, okay, we did something. This is the wrong way. Let's turn around and go back. Okay, what was okay, let's try this direction. Father, help us, because we're trying to find a way out of this maze, but we have to move in order to find out this is the right direction or this is the wrong direction. But you have to move to find out. But it seemed like they just want to talk about theories and go around the bend. And I'm just like, they look like the children of Israel circling around in the wilderness for 40 years. And it's like, it's so disheartening at times, right? To see you in that place a year. Okay, maybe you just need to hit the wall a few times, right? Okay, but after a year, clearly you would think you would get the picture. This is like going nowhere. Like you still waiting for Jesus to come pick you up. You still waiting for Jesus to come pick you. Like it has to become utter insanity at some point in time. Like and it should kick in. Like the light should come on for you to think like, wait a minute, what is really going on? Because that should kick in, but for some reason it doesn't. For some reason it doesn't. And it's like more people add to this mass of ignorance and unfulfillment. And it's like they hype each other up. And it's just a big hype mess. And it's like I try to stay far away from that as possible, because you get people in there, and especially if they're really good with words, boy, they can keep you pulled in for longer than you ever would want to believe that you would be stuck there, because they have a way with words and getting you hyped up in your emotions. And when you finally do leave out of there, you can be drained of everything you got and probably every dime you had in your pocket and your bank account. And it's just like, when I see that, I steer clear. I'll watch from afar, because a lot of people in big masses, a lot of time, it's not a good thing. Not that it shouldn't be a good thing, because it really should. People should flock to the truth like that, and it should be really compelling. But a lot of times when you come upon those big masses, it's a bunch of delusion. And it seems that in a conscious state of mind, that those who actually find the truth are treading on lonely paths by themselves, and maybe groups of one or two, or sometimes it'll be bigger than that. But a lot of time, what we're searching for is not found in the masses. Those are just like stop way stations to go party, and that is not what we're looking for. Okay, we ain't trying to stay in kindergarten forever. Like we really want to graduate throughout the grades. Okay. Who we at? We're at an hour and 3 minutes. Okay, let me just show you this. Let me finish this little paragraph, and it has this like triangle, arrow triangle. All right, so the transcendental self, it has infinity, eternity, immortality, the spirit. Then you have the different levels, and from the bottom, it starts with dullness, negativity, and then it goes up to distraction, restlessness, mixed positive and negative thoughts. And then the highest level is lucidity, creativity, purity, harmony, positive thinking, feeling and acting, expansion, and freedom, right? And so on the left side, it says individual consciousness is what is referred to as the soul of a human being. And on the right side, it has constriction, limitation, mental illness, lack of creativity down here in the lower section. Oh, okay. That looked kind of weird. I thought it was just squiggly lines, but on the side of it, on the left side, the letters are like overlapping one another, and it just says constriction, and consciousness. And on the right side, it says expansion and consciousness. And I'm gonna show that to y'all. Okay, I think both can see it from here. I just read everything inside. And these were, when you look at it, they look like squiggly lines, but they're actually single letters overlapping. I get a little closer. This for Facebook.
Mom,
There's two.
that look like a triangle.
It is upside down. All right, YouTube.
Well, you need to flip it around.
Okay. All right, this is the last little paragraph under this, and then we'll pause before we start reading the state of dullness. The personality of a the personality of a human being may be understood as an inverted triangle. At the
Mom,
bottom, yes, baby.
I'm trying to beat you.
You trying to beat me? Trying to finish painting that before I get done speaking?
Yes.
Let's see. At the bottom, there is constriction, and at the top, there is expansion. In the state of dullness, there is feelings, anger, hatred, greed, lust, etc. In the state of distraction, there is a mixture of positive and negative. If there is practice of yoga, a person in this state can have a glimpse, excuse me, a person in this state can have a glimpse of harmony, clarity, and peace of mind. In the state of purity, there is joy, peace, and harmony pervading the mind. From here, it is possible to glimpse the higher reality, which transcends all states of mind. This higher reality is the true self, which is the objective of all spiritual disciplines. Thus, spiritual practice is the process of promoting positive feelings, understanding, harmony, love, and righteousness, and to go beyond the mind itself to discover the absolute self, which is not affected by the modes of expression in which consciousness expresses. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today.
Mom. I got
We don't really want to talk about that at Sa'el.
Mom.
Yes, baby.
I was eating your water first and refill this.
Okay. It said the woman or feminine energy in the Oahspe outranks the man positive energy in order of creation. That is true, but we ain't really delve into that a lot yet, but we're going to. But listen though, if you want to be technical about it, also that's what we see in life as a whole. If we care to pay attention to it, right? Not that men are any less than women, but the feminine energy literally pervades this earth realm. The earth even is referred to as she, right? The earth is referred to as she. The earth, you could look at the earth as being our mother because she provides the fruit from her womb to nourish us, just as a mother provides her breast as fruit for her newborn suckling. But think about it though. Think of, just really think about all the different things that the women do, right? They balance each other out, right? But it's the feminine energy that brings the creativeness and the life to everything. The male energy just carries the seed, right? And they're both important because if you didn't have the male, then the woman would have nothing to do, right? So that they're equally important. But what a lot of you don't see the male, right? The seed always goes underground. All of the expression of everything is the result of the feminine energy bringing it to life, right? So everything we see above ground is the result of the female energy. The male is hidden. In society today, they would have us to think that the women is hidden. Women don't say nothing. Cover your head and your face. Don't come out in public with your face uncovered. When all in reality, we're the one that bring the pretty colors to the world. We help you. What are you gonna do? Like, we have to come on the scene. Like, the feminine energy must pervade. Otherwise, life could not exist. Like, you can't do it all on your own, masculine energy, right? That's just how it was created. That's just how it was put in motion, right? So I would love to see the earth balance itself out where there's an equal honoring to both male and female energy, right? But I think in this coming time, even as we seen today, I think there's a balancing out of the imbalance that has been for so long, which is why you see a lot of stuff happening with the female energy and stuff. And sometimes it's overly done. It's like the female energy sometimes overcompensates for things, but even that is going to balance itself out, as time progresses, right? The even balance is coming back to the world, right? Okay, but Jan Grand Rising. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. It is Thursday,
Oh no.
May the 12th, 2022, day 106 of year 4 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count.
I can end it.
Yes, baby. Day 1124. We read the Oahspe. And we started on page 66 and we finished reading
No,
the
fast.
the book of the First Lords and hold on. That one all the way, because I've moved my marker up. Okay, all the way to page 71. Okay, and then we read the meditation book starting on page 116, and we think we read a whole page. And we went to page 118. Yeah, 2 pages. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 119, because we stopped at the top of 119. Let me fix that. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the reading today.
Mom, I beat you.
You did. You sure did.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to post a few things that I was going to post yesterday. The day is just extremely busy, and I just didn't get a chance to do it. I'm going to try and get, girl, go get a paper towel. I'm going to try and get it done today, but just be watching. You'll get the notification once it's posted. All right, so with that being said, beautiful people, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. May y'all continue to bless all of you in all that you do in your growth. May you not ever become stagnant in your spiritual growth. Yes.
They drop a glove down there. They drop a glove down in the window.
Really? Did you see him drop a glove out the window?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go look out that window and check if there's a glove out there. And I'm going to talk with Mr. Isaiah about this. All right. So may all that you do, may it all lead towards the path of growth every day, for as long as you are privileged to be here and grow on this plane. Oh, you better show them that. Go ahead and show them that. She needs to show you one of her books she got yesterday. It's like a Frozen movie thing.
You mean shadow?
Okay, yeah, shadow. So these little things in here, these little discs, actually go in to here. So when you're reading a book and when it says this 2 or this 3, you put that disc in here and then you shine it on the wall, right? And that's a little light to come through. But the picture, you remember them little things, what you call it? You take like this big round disc with all these picture negatives in it. You put it in there. I forget what it's called. It's like one of them, but it's different. Don't shine a light in their face, boo. And you click it and it changes the pictures. That's exactly what this is. They designed it a little bit different. Okay. Yeah, they can't see all that. So it changes the disc every time she clicks and it shows a different picture. All right, you done showing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just a ghost.
Yeah, they can't see that. Okay, sit this over there, Pooh. Nani said, nice, I like it. Marche said, hi, Tootie.
Hi.
You're welcome, Marche. Okay, thank you. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I love y'all. And we'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bruce. Go ahead, end it, Pooh.
Let's press this.
Mm-hmm.
That's for pausing or not?
It's for pausing. Great, thank you. Go ahead and send YouTube about their day.
Bye.
90 gave you hearts.
Bye.